Good morning and a very warm welcome back to the channel. Motorcycle Live 2025 has been absolutely insane, and in this video I'm going to show you my best bikes of the show. Okay, so one of the bikes that I'm most excited about and couldn't wait here to see is the brand new for 2026 Triumph Trident 800. Now this is using an 800cc 3-cylinder engine that's pushing out 113 brake horsepower. Now, I think this bike looks absolutely stunning. Of course, we've had the Triumph Trident 660 for a couple of years now, and I think this bike is just a step up from that. Now this bike's got an 810mm seat height, so it should be perfect for just about everybody. I can flat foot it just about fine. Actually, sitting on this for the first time, this kind of tank kind of protrudes out, and it does cause you to spread your legs, so it's not as, maybe not quite as accessible as I first thought before I jumped on it. But yeah, this is going to be a great bike. Looks fantastic. So who are the main competitors for this bike? Well, for me at least, I think it's the Kawasaki Z900 RS. That bike, of course, is a 4-cylinder. This is a triple, so it's going to give you a slightly different engine characteristic. The other bike that I actually think is going to go up against this, bizarrely, is Triumph's own Street Triple. They're pushing out fairly similar horsepower, and it's just going to really come down to, if you like that triple engine, although it's slightly different, do you like the more kind of classic, it's not a classic bike, but the more kind of classic looks of this, or do you like something a little bit more pointy, a little bit more agile and nimble in terms of the Triumph Street Triple? Okay, so you join me over at the Royal Enfield stand with my surprise bike of the show so far. So this year, Royal Enfield is 125 years old, and they are going to be releasing this special edition Classic 350, which I have to say looks absolutely incredible. It's pure artwork, this bike, it really is. I can't afford and I don't have space for another bike, but oh my god, I want one of these. It's got what they're calling hypershift paint, and look, the video probably isn't doing this justice, but the metallic fleck on this is absolutely magnificent. You've got a beautiful stitch seat on here, and it's just, I don't need to talk. I'm going to let the bike do the talking. This really is the star of the show. You've also got, before I forget, the old classic Royal Enfield emblem on the side of it, and if you're coming to Motorcycle Live, guys, you need to see this in the flesh. It really is something very special indeed. Okay, so we find ourselves over at the Norton stand. Now this is a bike that very few people are going to buy because price is going to prohibit it, but I could not come up to Motorcycle Live this year without seeing this bike. It's the brand new Norton Manx, which has got a V4 engine, 1200cc, and camera lady, if you can just come up to the dash for me, I just want to show you this quickly. It looks absolutely insane. It looks like something from a spaceship. If I just grab that from you. It's crazy, absolutely crazy, and you know, Norton has been a little bit divisive of late with the pension scandal and everything that's happened with them. But there's one thing you can say about them: they do produce absolutely stunning looking bikes. I'm never going to be able to afford one of these, but wow, it just looks so cool. It really does. So you find us here over at the Suzuki stand with the brand new for 2025/6 SV7 GX. And this bike is going to use the same V-twin drive engine that the old SV650 used to use. Now that bike was discontinued earlier this year, and this bike is of course going to take the place of it. So if you're looking for something that's going to be comfortable, good for longer distances, a commuter, something to just kind of get to work on, this is going to be perfect for you. It's got a nice looking TFT screen. They've got an adjustable screen here by the looks of it. Got plenty of space for luggage on the back. You've of course got the hand guards, just keep the wind blast off you a little bit in those winter months. This is going to be perfect. And there's no official pricing on this yet. I would expect this to come out somewhere between kind of £7,500 and £8,000 to be competitive in this marketplace. And if you're in the market for something that's really reliable and really dependable, you're not going to go far wrong with this. Okay, so we're here with Royal Enfield's newest addition to the 650 twin family, the Bullet 650. And I have to say, guys, in the flesh, this bike looks absolutely magnificent. And personally, I do like the look of this a little bit better than the classic 650. It's got the same kind of dials as the classic 650 and a very, very similar riding position. It feels very stable, very sturdy, and yeah, if it's anything like the classic 650, it'll be very, very heavy as well. But this isn't a motorcycle you buy to ride fast on. This is a bike that you buy to poodle down the country lanes on a Sunday, and that seat is going to have all-day comfort, I'm sure. Of course, it's using the same 650cc parallel twin engine that we know and love from all of the other bikes in Royal Enfield's range, pushing out 47 brake horsepower. Again, if you're coming to the show this week, I highly, highly encourage you to check it out. It is a stunning looking machine. Okay, so staying with Royal Enfield for the moment, we're here with Royal Enfield's brand new Flying Flea, which is an electric bike. Now, I know Royal Enfield are synonymous with tradition, classic styling, and these bikes are anything but I've got to say, they do look truly, truly incredible. This grey kind of carbon fibre look one, we've got like a double seat on it, and we've got a kind of separate seat on the yellow and grey one. Now, for those of you that don't know, the Flying Flea was actually a motorcycle that was used in the war to drop troops because they were super, super lightweight, sent down on parachutes, and this is kind of a throwback to that. I'm still not completely made up about the electric revolution yet, but I've got to say these look stunning, and unfortunately I don't have any details on release dates, range, specs or anything like that, but I couldn't come to Royal Enfield and not show you these. Now, you join me here at the BSA stand for what I believe is one of the most exciting prospects in the small capacity retro market. Now, the likes of Triumph and of course Royal Enfield have had this segment kind of locked up for the last couple of years now, but this new BSA Bantam, I think, is going to put those two manufacturers to the test. So what we're looking at here is a 350cc single cylinder engine pushing out 29 brake horsepower. Now, in terms of the styling, I really do think BSA have got it absolutely spot on with this bike. So just showing you a quick walk around now, you've got the twin shocks at the rear, a lovely looking exhaust, which can sometimes be a bit of an afterthought on retros in my opinion. Coming down to the front of the bike, braking power is provided by Bybrake, which is a budget armoured bent Brembo, 2-pop calipers on the front by the looks of it. And I don't know about you guys, but I think this bike looks absolutely stunning. Just take you over to the, see a little bit more of the dash in the tank now. But yeah, like I say, Triumph and Royal Enfield have had it pretty much all their own way for the last couple of years now, and yeah, BSA are finally bringing something a little bit different to the table. They're a little bit slow off the mark. We of course had the Gold Star released 3 or 4 years ago, I believe it was now, and yeah, that's a cool looking bike. But yeah, this little Bantam, I think, is going to take the fight to Royal Enfield, and the more competition we've got in this area, the better as far as I'm concerned. Okay folks, so here we are with my 125 of the show. So the JTF 125 from AJS. A little scrambler style bike that I think looks absolutely stunning, especially in this orange colourway. Just 9.5 brake horsepower, but it's a 125 of course. That's not important. What is important is confidence for young riders, and it's going to give you that with 128 kilo weight. The price on this, I hear you ask, is just £3,299. They're not on the market yet, but they are going to be available in just a couple of weeks. And if I wanted a little commuter to get into town, or was, you know, just passing my CBT at the age of 17, this would be at the top of my shortlist, and it's why it's my 125 of the show 2025. So you find us over here at Suzuki with the DRZ 4SM. Now, I shot the kind of more off-road focused version of this last year at Motorcycle Live, and I just wanted to bring you over to this because it's a really, really cool looking piece of kit, and I imagine it's going to be bags of fun on the road. Quite a tall seat height on this, 890mm, and it's not getting a lot of love despite how fantastic this bike looks. It's pushing out 38 brake horsepower, and this is a bit of a luxury purchase. Let's be honest, it doesn't do anything particularly well. It's just a bit of a hooligan, and it's just for a bit of fun. The main issue with the bike is the price. It comes in at just a shade under £8,000. And for a bike that's a bit of a hooligan machine, a little bit of fun, it's not versatile, you probably can't tour on it. I think it's a shade too much, and I think Suzuki have got it drastically wrong. And it's such a shame. But I think it looks stunning nonetheless, and for that reason, it's one of my bikes of the show. And there we have it folks, my roundup of the best bikes of Motorcycle Live 2025. Let me know which one you like the best down in the comment section below. And the next video on the channel is going to be my final ride of the year on the Royal Enfield Beard, so make sure you stick around and subscribe for that. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, ride safe, and until the next time, goodbye.